Trailblazers, we've seen strange. We've seen wild. But Hyacine? A wind-type healer who hurts her own teammates just to make her unicorn summon hit harder? I'm not even joking. And the craziest part of her kit? It's not the healing. It's not the buffing. It's not even the summon. It's the way she flips the very idea of healing on its head. And we'll get to that, but first, let's talk about why Hyacine might just be the most disruptive, most unpredictable unit Honkai Star Rail has introduced so far. Buckle up, because this kit breakdown is unlike anything we've done before. Hey guys, before we continue further, if you're planning to pull for your favorite waifu, husbando, or maybe any of the rear-end units in this version, listen up, because I've been using Loot Bar, and it lets you save up to 23% on all your purchases. Just to show you how good this deal is, I bought a 6480 Oneiric Shard pack for only $79, while the same pack costs about $100 in the in-game shop. Topping up is super simple. All you need to do is enter your UID, select your server, and in just a few minutes, you'll receive your jades. And yes, if it's your first purchase, you'll still get the double top-up bonus, just like in-game. What's even better is that Loot Bar isn't just for Honkai Star Rail. You can also top up in Genshin Impact with the same discounts. With thousands of 5-star reviews, it's a safe, reliable, and cheaper way to get more value for your money. And here's the best part. If you use my link in the description or the pinned comment, you'll get an extra 8% off on top of all the other discounts. So, if you're looking to pull more for less, check out Loot Bar now. Before we dive in too deep, here's a quick reminder that all of this information comes from early leaked data. Details could change by the time she's released. But based on what we know so far, yeah, she's looking like a unit that could totally reshape healing and damage synergy in Star Rail. If you're looking to build teams that lean into mechanics, not just numbers, Hyacine might be exactly what you've been waiting for. So first, some quick context. Hyacine is a wind-type character on the path of remembrance. And that immediately stands out. Every healer in the game so far, Bailu, Huohua, Luocha, Natasha, has been tied to the path of abundance. But not Hyacine. She's the first true healer outside of abundance, and that already tells us something important. She plays very, very differently. Instead of pure sustain, she brings a toolkit built around synergy, resource trade-offs, and a surprisingly aggressive edge. And at the heart of her playstyle is a summon, a tiny but powerful creature called Ika, her memo sprite. As for her release, based on the current schedule and her early drip marketing reveal, we expect Hyacine to debut in the first half of version 3.3. That means her banner will likely go live around May 20th for American servers and May 21st for Asia and Europe. So if you're thinking of pulling for her, or just want to see how she fits into your team, this is the perfect time to start saving. Let's talk about her abilities. Her basic attack is fairly standard. She deals single target wind damage, and it scales off her max HP. That's a recurring theme throughout her kit. Her entire design revolves around max HP, not ATK or other traditional damage stats. The basic attack won't be something you rely on often, but it does generate skill points and helps maintain rotation flow. Nothing flashy here, but it sets the stage for what's to come. Now, her skill is where things start getting interesting. When used, Hyacine heals all allies, except Ika, for a percentage of her max HP. Then she separately heals Ika as well. And if Ika isn't already summoned, the skill brings her onto the field. So in one move, you're not only healing the team, but you're maintaining Ika's uptime and letting her start contributing to your damage output. This separation between the team and the summon, that's a hint that Ika isn't just some passive effect. She's a real, active presence in your rotation, and she's going to matter a lot. Hyacine's ultimate is where her support identity really comes into focus. When activated, she gains an unnamed buff that lasts for a few turns. While this buff is active, all allies gain bonus max HP based on Hyacine's own max HP. This is big. Max HP buffs are rare in Star Rail, and they're incredibly valuable for characters like Blade, Misha, and of course, Castor Ice. That alone gives her strong synergy value. But the ultimate doesn't stop there. It also heals all allies, including Ika, and summons Ika if she isn't on the field. So whether you're entering a boss phase, recovering from a big hit, or prepping to enable your HP-based DPS units, this ability does everything at once. Now here's the spicy part, her talent. This talent is one of the most unique support passives we've seen in the game. Every time Hyacine or Ika receives healing, Ika's damage increases. And it stacks. You heard that right. The more you heal, the more powerful your memo sprite becomes. This turns healing, something normally viewed as purely reactive, into an engine for offensive power. She's not just keeping your team alive. She's feeding Ika power. And since her skill, her ultimate, and Ika's own abilities all trigger healing interactions, this talent can snowball pretty quickly. Suddenly, healing becomes DPS. Sustain becomes pressure. And Hyacine becomes not just a support, but a hybrid sub-DPS in her own right. Her first trace drives this home even harder. All of Ika's attacks are guaranteed to critically hit. That's right. Ika will always crit, which means you don't need to build crit rate or even crit DMG on Hyacine to get consistent damage out of Ika. You can go full HP, full speed, and still get real offensive value. This changes the way you build her completely. No stat juggling. No trade-offs between healing and damage. Just clean, consistent results. Her second trace introduces a clever mechanic. Once Hyacine's speed exceeds 200, every additional point of speed slightly boosts her outgoing healing up to a cap. This encourages a high-speed, high-HP build that not only enhances her healing but also indirectly buffs Ika through her talent. Fast healing means frequent healing, which means stronger Ika. This isn't just flavor, it's functional design. And it sets her apart from other sustain units who rely more on timed effects or counters. Her third trace is more traditional. It grants the entire team a flat amount of effect resistance. While the exact value isn't confirmed, it's likely to be in the 10 to 20% range. This makes Hyacine especially useful in fights with heavy debuffs or crowd control. Think about enemies that freeze, entangle, or sleep your entire squad. With her on the team, your chances of resisting those effects just went up. It's a subtle benefit, but one that adds even more value to her kit. Now let's take a moment to appreciate Ika, her memo sprite. This little summon is more than just cute. It's functional and dangerous. Ika takes independent turns and launches AoE wind attacks. These always crit, thanks to the trace we just discussed. On its own, that would already be helpful for dealing chip damage across multiple enemies. But Ika's most clutch ability is this. If any ally's HP falls below a certain threshold, Ika sacrifices some of its own HP to heal the entire team. It's a reactive safety net, a way to survive burst phases. And yes, it counts as healing, which means it feeds into Hyacine's talent, triggering more damage bonuses for Ika. The loop is elegant. Damage leads to HP loss. HP loss leads to healing. Healing leads to more damage. It's circular. It's risky. It's genius. And then there's her light cone. This is where things get unhinged in the best way possible. First, it increases Hyacine's speed. Great for healing. Great for Ika. Then, every time she uses an ability, whether it's a basic attack, a skill, or her ultimate, it drains HP from all allies. Intentionally. It's a deliberate mechanic. And it enables all kinds of team synergies. Characters like Castoris, who require allies to be hurt to activate powerful ultimates. They love this. Blade, who thrives on self-damage and max HP buffs. This is his dream scenario. But here's the thing. Draining HP doesn't weaken your team. It sets up more healing triggers, which means more power for Ika. The light cone also applies a debuff. When Ika uses a memo sprite skill, all enemies take increased damage for a few turns. So now you've got a team-wide HP drain, a reactive healing engine, and a full team-wide damage buff, all packed into one light cone. So what kinds of teams does she work best with? Let's talk synergy. First up, Castoris. These two are made for each other. Castoris ULT charges when her allies lose HP. Hyacine's kit constantly causes HP drain through abilities, through her light cone, through Ika. At the same time, she heals just enough to keep everyone alive, while feeding her own summon with more power. It's a perfect loop of damage and sustain, and it allows both characters to reach their full potential. With Castoris also bringing insane energy regeneration, you'll be triggering ultimates left and right. Next, Blade. He's one of the best self-damaging DPS characters in the game, and Hyacine provides everything he needs. Max HP buffs, consistent healing, and the ability to trigger his passive safely. Add in Ika's AoE crit damage, and you've got an aggressive frontline with reactive support that doesn't get in the way of his mechanics. It's clean, fast-paced, and lethal. Even characters like Jinglu or future units that use HP thresholds could find value in Hyacine's controlled chaos. There's also the idea of a permacrit chaos comp with units like Bronya and Asta. where you boost speed and damage to cycle Eco turns, maximize crits, and flood the enemy with constant AoE pressure. Builds are wide open. So how do you actually build Hyacine? Your core stats are going to be max HP and speed. Prioritize HP % body, HP % orb, and HP % rope. For boots, go speed main stat if you can hit the 200 speed threshold. You don't need to touch crit rate or ATK at all. For relic sets, Messenger traversing hackerspace works great thanks to the speed buff after her ultimate. Longevous Disciple is also a strong choice, stacking HP and improving survivability. As for Ika, don't worry about crit stats. It already crits. That's the beauty of her kit. Now, let's zoom out. Is Hyacine going to be meta? That depends on how her final scaling numbers land. If Ika's damage holds up in real content, she could easily become a staple for aggressive teams that need controlled healing without sacrificing tempo. If her healing uptime is as strong as it looks, she might even replace more traditional supports in HP-based comps. But even if she doesn't become top meta, she introduces something far more exciting, a new way to think about healing. Because Hyacine doesn't just heal, she manages. She controls team health like a conductor guides an orchestra, deliberate, strategic, and always thinking ahead. She lets you take risks without being reckless. She punishes predictable rotations. And she rewards players who understand team dynamics on a deeper level. Does this kind of high-risk, high-reward support appeal to you? Or are you more into traditional healers who just keep everyone topped off and safe? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you'd build her. Until then, see you in the next video, fellow Trailblazers.